What's up, YouTube? It's FitzBro, and today we are going to be breaking down the Ottoman opening of MarineLorD, who just won that Red Bull Wololo $300,000 tournament last weekend. We're going to be taking a look at how he macros his villagers in the early game. What are the things that he's doing in the Dark Age into the Feudal? Now, of course, this was a Ottoman mirror up against TheMista, but let's see how he was able to get it done, and maybe you too can be the champion of our next Red Bull Wololo event. It's gonna happen, right? Let's dive into this. Okay, so the first thing, a word of warning is this is very map specific in this case. He is playing on wetlands from the tournament. Now, wetlands features these nearby ponds that have the shore fish. Now, there aren't a ton of maps in the pool that have this, but there are some that perhaps you could leverage this strategy. If you end up playing on wetlands or Frisian marshes, which is often in a lot of the tournaments, or what I'm thinking is ancient spires. I'm seeing that a lot in the map pool right now, and it's got those nearby shore fish. So I think there's opportunities you can leverage this, but let's see what he's doing. So the very first thing, he's taking his initial 5 villagers and he's taking them to stone, with that one of them going to wood. Okay, so these are starting vills, 5 to stone, 1 to wood. His new villager is actually going to wood. A lot of times we rally this towards the sheep. So what he's going to be looking to do is watch this. He takes these 5 villagers. Once you have the resources in your hand, it doesn't matter what economic drop-off building you put down, they will drop that off. So even though he's building a mill here, they're going to return that stone. So it's a nice little way to save time instead of walking back all the way to the town center. Now, he is going to start using those shoreline fish. So if you're playing on ancient spires or something like that, build a mill with your initial stone villagers and you can start collecting this fish. Okay, so he's got 5 on fish and 3 on wood. Just now that he's turning that stone, pulling one of those guys to build the military school, which is going to train those free units, spearmen specifically here at the beginning. Now, Ottomans are very popular right now, so you're likely going to run into a lot of Ottoman mirrors. Okay, so far it's been 4 to wood, and he's got 2 of them right now building that house and the military school. Just keeping those initial 5 out here on the mill. Now, next thing it's actually kind of funny, he was housed there for a moment. The champion of Red Bull Wololo gets housed? I thought it was just me and my games. A very realistic build order. Okay, so now he's got 4 on wood still, and he's putting new vills onto sheep. Okay, so we've got 5 on the fish, 1 on sheep, and then we've got these guys on wood. And it looks like he's gonna be pulling them off now that he has the 50 wood that he needs for his gold. He's going to be bringing 3 villagers out to the gold vein. So he'll be dropping a mining camp out there and just leaving 1 on wood. Okay, so macro right now is 7 on food, 3 on gold, and 1 on wood. Okay, now he has 8 on food. Now this isn't uncommon as some openings actually you will see in some other other maps. The difference only being, he forgot to build his mining camp. Instead of going out here and building the mill, you don't have to chop as much wood. Now, sometimes people will go for like a second barrack or a barracks in addition to this with all this extra chopped wood, similar to what he kind of did here. Okay, 9 on food, 3 on gold. You see, he almost walked back with his gold. He's doing all the things that I do in my early game. It makes me feel real good about myself. Okay, so 9 on food, 3 on gold, 1 on wood. Here comes that spearman, going to start heading out, and it looks like he's just going to be protecting his food vills, I think is what he was doing here. 10 on food now. I'm going to give it just a little bit of speed here. Okay, so up to this point, he's getting ready to age up. We're just past the 3-minute mark, and he's going to be aging up at about 3 minutes and 13 seconds. A pretty good age up time. Typically, Ottomans, you're at, once you hit that 3-minute mark, you'd be thinking about getting that age up down really quickly. He hit 3:13 here, a good time. Look, he's going to pull 6 villagers to do this. Okay, so he's keeping those 3 on gold, and what has he, okay, he just spent that on his age up, because sometimes you'll see these villagers get pulled, so we'll see what he ends up spending that gold on. Okay, so we got the twin minaret going down, the landmark of choice for building that. It looks like he's going to bring his remaining villagers out to build the lumber camp. Okay, so we've got 4 gathering fish. The rest are just going to wood right now. He's still got those 3 on his gold vein, training up those spearmen. Okay, and we'll give it a little speed to see what he does next here with this macro. I think these 4 villagers are probably going to stay here on the berries. I'm always anxious to see, does he spend the gold on wheelbarrow? Does he spend it on the broadaxe? Now, I'm going to say, guys, I've heard content creators out there saying, wheelbarrow's dead. Nobody's using wheelbarrow anymore. There's pros saying, no, don't use wheelbarrow. Let's see what MarineLorD does. He just won Red Bull Wololo, and he's just got that 150 gold. And let's see where he spends it. Does he spend it on broadaxe or wheelbarrow? This will be the decider, right? This will be the decider. Okay, those landmark builders are now going to berries. And it looks like MarineLorD, the winner of Red Bull Wololo, has decided to tech up with the wheelbarrow. So that probably that decides the whole thing, right? That the wheelbarrow is the way to go. And now he's collecting stone. Once he had enough gold to get wheelbarrow, he overgathered a little bit. He's transferred those villagers over to stone. So right now he has 6 on stone, 8 on food, right? He's got these 4 and then these 4. And then he's got 7 on wood. Okay. So he's gathering that stone. Let's see if he drops down a military school. It will be for an additional town center. And he's, chasing out in the middle of the map. He's actually switched over to Sipahi now. So there we go. A military school. Looks like he grabbed one of those food bills to drop that nice and close. I like the open space he's got in the back of his base here as the Ottomans. This is the dream. This is the dream. Okay, so right now, continuing to get stone. 8 on stone, 3 on food, 13 on wood. And I suspect he's going to drop an additional town center later. We'll see what Vizier point he goes with first. He does go with the Metter, which seems to be the popular kind of offensive option to go. And if you go up with the Metter, of course, that gives you, get the Metter drums. It gives them the Metter at the town center, but also it improves the speed of your units in the same formation by 15%. So it's kind of like a mobile YAM network or something. Okay, so he has collected enough for his second town center. We're just past the 7-minute mark. He's got his 2 military schools, and he's now dropping down a town center. Now, on this map, he's going to put it on the pond and the gold here. I think you can probably drop your second town center either on the gold or on a map like this, of Frisian Marshes, doing something exactly like what we're seeing here. So we'll keep going here just a little bit longer. We've got the Sipahi out of both of these. So he's training Sipahi out of his military school. He's putting his blacksmith in the middle, and he's going to build his buildings kind of around this, of course, to get that bonus from that the blacksmith will provide in training time. And now he's dropping down barracks. So I think what you should typically do with your military schools, once you've have your initial few spearmen, is put them on horsemen, Sipahi, right? So whether you're going to add a barracks, you're going to add spearmen, or you're adding archers, typically you want to have your military schools producing Sipahi and your other buildings building your archers or spearmen. So don't go crazy about building a bunch of stables or anything like that. Actually, this is a tip Snoop had given me when I was playing. He said, start building more of your Sipahi out of the military school. Now, he is going to add an additional stable here, but he's got looks like his barracks, his archery range. So he's got these selected there. Macro right now, 10 on food, 13 on wood, and 4 on gold. Now, where are the gold bills? Oh, these new ones. He's put a few out here. Now, it'll be interesting to see. Did he go for... he has not gotten double broadaxe yet. It'll be interesting to see if he goes for double broadaxe or if he goes for some of these blacksmith upgrades next. He did get his upgrade for his spearmen, which might have been the primary reason that he threw just a few villagers here on gold. You do want that barracks to upgrade if you have spearmen early on and they're alive still. That'll get them upgraded. Otherwise, they just, they have that Dark Age status, the Dark Age stats. You want to get them upgraded. Otherwise, those free spearmen are not going to be very strong for you. He still has his military school set on Sipahi, training Sipahi, and he's got a barracks and an archery range at this moment. Okay, 16 on food and 3 on gold. Now, I'm not paying attention to what's going on the other side because my goal of this video is to show you what's going on back at home. What's this macro looking like? How's he moving his economy around? Okay, so he was threatened over here, so he grabbed all his villas and brought them over to the opposite wood line. And you see now, I like how he built, when you build your town centers, it's very nice when you get that second town center on gold, because you can get this kind of like crossfire in here. You see this? So like if anyone comes through here, he's got fire from 2 town centers. Like to come raid these villagers, he's gonna have to go all the way around. And particularly with the Ottomans, a lot of times up till now, we've been putting second town centers like on the deer patches, and it's great to do that sometimes. But the Ottomans, you've got your berries from your twin Medret. You've got your sheep you've initially spawned with. On this map, he's got fish, but you also have the sheep you can send in. So it's not overly important to go on a risk and put your town center out here where it might get picked off. So I really like his TC placement, particularly here with these little ponds. Okay, so let's just take a look what's going on. So he's starting to apply some military pressure using the speed of his Sipahi along with the Meter. I think it's kind of his goal is to do a lot of hit and runs there where he can outrun his opponent. Even if he's got spearmen, he ain't going to catch him. Continuing to train Sipahi out of here. See if he grabs any of these blacksmith upgrades. He has a little bit of gold, or if he decides to go with an age up. He did actually go, look at this. Look at this. He went for it with horticulture, which is going to increase the gathering rate of food by 15%. So he actually went with a food upgrade. He has not gone with double broadaxe. They did make techs a little bit cheaper, so things you might consider here. He did this just after about the 10-minute mark. Right now, having 21 on food, 11 on gold, 9 on wood. It's looking like he's going... He has like kind of the military pressure he needs, and he's just going to kind of try to run around while he ages up now. And right now, that's exactly what's going on. On the other side, we've got... it looks like TheMista also is doing Spahi out of his military schools and is aging up with the palace. Interesting. Up with the Imperial Palace. Don't see that a ton. Okay, so he's kind of got his opponent pinned down. He sees he's aging up. So now he's going to age up himself. So I'll give you a little bit of speed here. You can see him age up. There we go. And so he is going to age up with the Mehmet Imperial Armory. I think this is the landmark of choice. If a lot of people come in and say, Fitz, what landmarks do you recommend going up with? I think it's exactly what you're seeing here. You want to go up with the Berry landmark, get it right close to your town center, and then follow up with the Imperial Armory. He's got it on that blacksmith, so he's able to get that improved production. I like how he's kind of spread out these buildings, so he had the room to get all of this here. Because look how many military buildings he has around this one blacksmith. Kind of depends on the map. Some maps are closed off. You don't have the opportunity. Now, he did send the additional military school, military campus. So that was his second vizier point of choice. And he's building that right now there on the back side. He's dropping out a little palisade wall just to build himself some defenses. And he's in like pretty good shape right now. I'll put it in caster mode so you can kind of see the difference between the two economies. He's been able to, well, did Mr. go for a second town center? It looks like he didn't. He did a 1 town center build. So it's 1 TC build versus a 2 TC build. So he's vastly up on villagers. And at this point, the game is really in his favor. He's got a lot of economy. He's got a lot of military out in the field. He's going to have this armory start producing his siege units. And he has a flexibility to do pretty much whatever he wants. So that's a big part of this. And now he just needs to finish the game, not take any big losses to his villagers. It looks like once he's hit this 3rd age, he's got Sabahi still being trained, and he did switch. Well, he hasn't switched. Okay, he is switching actually all of his military schools to crossbow. So it looks like he's going to be switching all of his military schools to crossbow once he hits the 3rd age. I like that option because you're training up some siege units. You want to have some anti-cav, assuming your enemy is probably making some knights or man-arms when they hit the 3rd age. Crossbows are going to be great options for not only playing from a little bit of a defensive position, but allowing you to defend your siege units. You can add in some spearmen or man-at-arms along the tank with them. It looks like he's going to be upgrading his spearmen and then going for man-at-arms. Just watching this, yes, he's definitely still going for crossbows. And building up that military here. He does have his Imperial Armory on the Mangonel, which is kind of the default for that landmark when it is built. And he's just walling himself off, basically just securing his resources, waiting for the opponent to come to him. He knows he's on 2 TC, enemy's on 1 TC. I'm going to sit back, let him come to me. I've got the better eco. Now, losing a few villagers, not going to help him with his economy, but he's got villagers to spare right now. I'm just going to check it in and see if he got a double broadaxe. He still is not. No double broadaxe here about the 14-minute mark. I hear the military or the Vizier point. Let's see what he spent it on. And so he did go with the faster training of the military schools, what he went with there, the faster training. So he's really dug into those military schools. And now he's just playing defense, right? He's got crossbows, which are going to be great defense. They're great at, crossbows are great for countering any armored units, man-at-arms, knights. Now, I did make a counters guide. So if you're wondering the core roster of units, what unit counters what, go back and check out my previous upload. I did that to help you out if you're maybe just now getting into Age of Empires 4. And if you are, let me know down in the comments. Say hello. I hope you're enjoying the channel and this breakdown of MarineLorD's game here. Okay, so he's got a crossbow going out there. There's his mangonel. Okay, so now he's got a few spearmen. He's got some crossbows. His goal is to guard this mangonel and probably start to push a little bit of an offensive there. Looks like he has some Sipahi and spearmen out there to clean up what was ever left back there. Okay, and I'm going to hit you with a little bit of speed here. Looks like he is dropping a moss to start grabbing some of those relics. So here's a little bit of speed. Okay, so he's just basically sitting back. He's dropping down an additional military school. He's not bothering with doing like a second blacksmith or anything like that. He's just dropping one military school on its own, not by any blacksmiths or anything. You can see his eco looking pretty good. You can see kind of how he's macroed between all the resources up there right now compared to what we got on the other side. MiSTA just having, you know, about half as much villagers at this point. So I think going 2 TCs seems to be very strong here, particularly in this matchup where he's got these ponds nearby, a lot of resources close by in his base. And from here, he's able just to push out and run the field. So I'm going to turbo this one out just so you can see the end of this in case you didn't. But there you go. This is kind of a water nearby pond opening into 2 military schools, into town center was the key takeaway of what we saw here in the Dark Age. I'm going to get out of this UI because UI is actually takes up a little bit of space when you just want to see all the units going around. But I think it seemed like it worked out pretty well for MarineLorD. He was able to win all of Red Bull Wololo. He chose the strategy in Ottoman Mir in his final game, and hopefully it's a strategy that you can try out. Let me know down in the comments section if you've got any favorite Ottoman openings, or if there's another game you want me to analyze. I'd be happy to do that. Some of these recordings, they fall off over time, so there's only so much that we can do. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this type of video. Hit the subscribe button. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you liked it, disliked it, whatever it might be. Like the trumpet, you know I do. And I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for tuning in.